Hey everyone, Kilimanjaro 808 here tonight, and I'm just going to give you a little brief overview of my Operation Market Garden impression. Bear in mind, I know there are a few things that are wrong with this impression, although somewhat acceptable. I'm actually borrowing some other gear from my other impressions for the time being. I'm in lieu of trying to obtain some gear for this impression only. So, without further ado, I'll put my jacket on. Man, it is hot. So, for those of you who don't know, Operation Market Garden just had its 75th anniversary a few days ago. It occurred on September 17th, 1944, and it was the largest airborne invasion ever. Unfortunately for the Allies, it was a failure for a multitude of reasons, and you can go on YouTube or whatnot to look up the history on it. And the 82nd, 101st, and the British 1st Airborne Divisions were part of Operation Market Garden. It's broken down into two elements: Market being the airborne paratroopers, and Garden being 30 Corps and the Second Army, which had tanks, which were to back up the airborne infantry as they made their way up the series of bridges that they were assigned to capture. The hardest bridge to capture was with the British 1st Airborne up in the north in Arnhem. You now know it as the Bridge Too Far. And there's a book and movie made about that. I highly recommend seeing A Bridge Too Far. Even better if you can read the book. This impression is somewhat based off of that, as well as, another good reference is Band of Brothers, episodes 4 and 5, which take place in Holland. A handful of video games also took place in Holland during Operation Market Garden, Medal of Honor Frontline. So, let me put my gear on, and we'll go over everything. I'm very proud of this impression. It's taken me a while to assemble. I know there's some Normandy things in the mix, but it's somewhat, to me, pretty acceptable, and not something that's done a whole lot because some of this stuff is actually hard to get, or specific vendors don't carry it, so you have to go to a different outlet to try and obtain it. Okay, let me put this big thing on. Belt suspenders, this is always the hardest thing to put on. Especially if you don't have a mirror. Thankfully I have a mirror. Make sure everything looks, I thought something would snap. I don't know what that was. I have no idea what that was. Yeah, sorry if I'm not facing the camera. I gotta look at what I'm actually doing. Because this stuff takes a while to put on. And I'll tell you right now, it is hot. It's a lot more hot than any M42 I've worn before. Again, sorry, I'm just double, triple checking my work. I'm trying to figure out what the heck went pop. Okay, well, there you have it. It is very snug. I don't know what popped. If anything looks wrong or out of place, just leave a comment. Okay, so, oh, my helmet. Helmet, my sidearm. How much time are we running on? 5 minutes. Okay, how does that look to you? If I'm not able to get everything within 10 minutes, I'll just put a description box of everything I have on, down to the brand I'm wearing, where I got it from. Okay, so, I put my rifle down. Again, it might not be 100% historically accurate, and I apologize about that, but I did my best with the research I've done to look up everything and build it off that. I tried to make everything very historically accurate. But if there's anything that stands out to you, go ahead and leave a comment. I will accept constructive criticism. Okay, so starting with the boots. These are World War II Impressions M43 buckle boots. They were not dubbed, I dubbed them. It's actually quite fun doing it as well. They are very comfortable actually. I gotta break them in a little bit more, but they're fairly comfortable right now. Attached to that, I have a Mandoline, yes, M6 leather scabbard. This leg tie is wrong. This is a leg tie I got off like a Mandoline 782 USMC haversack. So I'll eventually switch this out for the correct one. I gotta dye this this lower leg tie. It's made of leather to match the scabbard, but later on. And quick fact, the paratroopers in Holland, replacements, mostly everybody got the buckle boots. There's a lot of people some reenactors who use the corcoran boots, which are fine, but not a whole lot of paratroopers kept those. Usually there's veterans of Normandy, Sicily, so forth. But majority of the paratroopers in Holland got the buckle boots throughout to the end of the war. Trousers, these are M43 paratrooper trousers. I got these from What Price Glory, or WPG, Whiskey Papa Golf. Fairly well priced, and it's actually good quality now. It's very glossy, but over time if you wash it and use it, it's going to fade. The pockets right here, you can see these are a lot larger than the M42 trouser pockets. And inside I actually got some helmet covers to kind of add, to make it look like it's full with something. You don't want to run around with empty pockets, at least not the trouser pockets. I've had to cut the leg ties to come extra long. You adjust them to your length, and I cut mine because they were getting in the way, and it's a lot easier to run around without things having, things dangling and all that. Just a pair of scissors and just snip away. The jacket, this is an M43 jacket. This is from at the front. I got it with the Screaming Eagle patch. I just had these corporal chevrons sewn on today with my shirt. I don't know if you've seen that earlier. My M37 wool shirt. Very impressed with the sewing done by the woman I had it sewn by. It was a Song's alteration, so I'll be seeing her in the future. I mean, she matched it perfectly. Usually the sewing I get, well, for one, it was cheaper. More expensive, and the sewing, while it is good and uniformed, it was always this khaki kind of color that matched I don't even know how to put it. Well, anyway, I like how she sewed the chevrons on. She matched it with these with the rayon blue. I really thought that was a neat feature because it almost looks like this thing was glued on really well. It's there for life, pretty much. The Airborne tab, when I got it, the top part was loose, so I hand sewed the top of it. Can't even see it because it's in black. Helmet. I'll go over the gear in a little bit, but the helmet. This is a post-war M1 helmet with, I'm not sure what kind of liner it is. I'm assuming post-World War II, probably like 1946, 47. It's not a fixed bail. It's got the OD3 khaki net, 3/4 cut, the American netting. I don't have the money for an M2 or M1C, so this I found on eBay for fairly good price, and it's got the what really turned me on to it was it has the 502 hearts painted on it. So I'm doing the 502 parachute infantry regiment from like Brothers in Arms. If you've ever played that game, Hell's Highway, Road to Hill 30, Earned in Blood. Very good World War II first-person shooter and strategy game. One of the reasons why I love World War II till this day. It's got the correct chin straps, liner strap. Gear-wise, I actually got this on a gun show last year. I don't know what brand this is, but it's actually been pretty good. It's got the brass plated adjustment buckles. I've adjusted it to my waist size. I've got a M1918 45 pistol mag pouch right here. These are just airsoft 1911 magazines for my KWC 1911A1. I've had this thing for almost 2 years, and it's been a fantastic sidearm. This is the Parkerized version. You can't get these anymore. But they do offer them in black and silver with the engravings. So it's on eBay for like $120 if you're ever interested in getting one. Over here, we've got 2 rigger pouches. Now in Holland, they didn't really use rigger pouches by that point. They kind of did away with it. These are for the M1 Garand and M1 carbine. M1A1 carbine, we're talking the paratrooper model. I guess the paratroopers figured they just liked the overall feel of the cartridge belt, and it was more useful for them. But some of them actually did use rigger pouches, and I'm just, as a stand-in, I'm using this until I can get an M1 Garand cartridge belt. Being a corporal, not all corporals, of course, got pistols. Again, this is just kind of fill in. For airsoft, it's very practical because I do need a sidearm if the action does get close. But in real life, of course, I wouldn't have a sidearm if I was a corporal. Most of the time. This is a Mandoline 1916 holster. It's their latest run. I dyed it and aged it using boot dubbing. I did the same thing with the scabbard here too. And the boots, it's all the same. It's all snow seal, this product right here. That's all it is. And a blow dryer, that's all you need to age it. If you want to make it a little darker, you can use some brown shoe polish, which I did over here. And I'll say it looks 100 times better than what it did stock. On this side, we've got M1910 entrenching tool with the khaki cover on it. You can you could hang them right here by the wire hanger, or if you were infantry, you could shove it in the haversack. But most of them actually carry the newer M43E tool. It's a folding E tool. It uses its own cover, and it hangs off the belt just like this. Suspenders, these are from Mandoline. I've taped them and folded them up. The parachuter's first aid kit right here. This is also from Mandoline. I don't know if they did it like this in Holland. I'm just comfortable with having my parachuter's first aid on the left side of my suspender. The musette bag. This is from Mandoline. I've had this one for 2 years now. It's held up well. I've got some stuff stuffed in here to make it look like it's full. And I got the American flag in here too. I didn't get a chance to put it on yet. Let's see what else here I have. And a 1924 first aid kit right here. Last item would be my canteen. This is actually a 1945 dated canteen and a M1942 cover, if I'm not mistaken. I prefer the original canteens from what other reenactors told me, because it's actually an inch longer than the repops. So although you can't drink out of it, at least it's made to fit. So with that out of the way, you probably just want to see the weapon. And what I got here is the M1 Garand by G&G. I carry 4 extra magazines with it in these rigger pouches. Let me just take out one for an example. They're actually pretty big for what they are. You can hold up to about 3 of these in a rigger pouch. I don't think they'll fit a cartridge belt, unfortunately. So you'll have to find another way of storing them. If you plan to run the cartridge belt, probably a bandolier. Probably look at what I'm doing if I want to run more. Very excellent rifle. I haven't got a chance to field it yet, but to end this video, we're gonna do some rolling shots with me and this impression and my M1 Garand and my 45. Thank you guys for watching. I might even bust out the carbine too. Some near my little collection of guns. Down. Drywall. Okay, you probably want to see a carbine, right? I do have a carbine for you. Oh. These trousers are gonna rip every time I take a knee. I got the carbine. There we go. What would it be if I didn't have a carbine, right? And I got mags for this too. Next time I go airsoft, I might go like this. Okay, I think we're gonna terminate the video from here.